What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Cam ATL, and welcome back to another Prizepicks video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment anything in the comment section down below to enter your name into the $50 giveaway I do every single week on this channel because I love you. Welcome back again to PropsMadeEasy.com, baby. The most advanced data-driven tools in the entire industry. Partnered with the biggest data company in the entire industry to bring y'all the most accurate projections, which in turn give you the most accurate differentials, which in turn show you the best value bets that you could be putting your money on every day. Pretty much putting your money on the spots that the professional bettors are going to be putting their money on, not just some regular random person on Twitter. You know what I mean? It Props Made Easy allows every member of their site to pretty much become a very intelligent, smart bettor and put their money on the smart plays that the data backs. So, and that's always the most important thing, man. No matter how good anyone is, like I've said, I've got a friend who makes a living off sports betting. All he does is sports betting. He doesn't own a company with sports betting, none of that. All he does is bet on sports. That's what he does, right? And he's got a couple other, entrepreneur type things that he does. But at the end of the day, this dude does this for a living. You know what I mean? Full time, bets on sports, studies sports, and the number one thing that he always says is the more time he's able to get in every day, like before he places his bets, the better he does. Which means the more data that he's able to bring into his mind, the more data he's able to look at without missing anything, the better he does. And that's why he has a Prosmade Easy membership. That's why Prosmade Easy is the place to go. It saves you time. It has all of the important data involved into it already. That way you don't have to do a ton of research, but yet you know you're putting your money on that smart data backed spot. And that's the most important part. GreenlightDFS.com, my company. We have an early and a main slate today. If you like DFS lineups. If you like to make lineups for DFS for DraftKings and FanDuel, check out greenlightdfs.com. That is my company. You can find that by either clicking on its logo down here, or you can click on more at Props Made Easy and see DFS content, and it'll bring you over there. Over there, I study all day to put my optimal lineups there, what we believe to be the most optimal version you can possibly play. And then you enter it from there, or you can adjust it however you want, whatever you want to do. We have Optimizer over there with our personal projections. We have the access to the Proximate Easy tools over there if you're a member at Greenlight as well. So whole bunch of stuff over there as well. So if you're interested in daily fantasy sports, the best part about daily fantasy sports, I say this all the time, y'all. The best part about daily fantasy sports opposed to props is that with daily fantasy sports, you could be having a down week, and then all it takes is that one day. It can change your entire life. You know what I mean? Like when we won $75,000, I won members. There were a couple of members that day who won 80 plus $1,000 in NFL. Um, when we won that amount of money, we had just lost like the week before. We had just lost like I believe it was like week 5, and then week 6 we come back and win 80K. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing with one lineup, not multiple lineups. One lineup ended up getting at the top of NFL contests. We've had $50,000 winning days in MLB, 30,000 here, 10,000 here, 20,000 here. We've had big wins in baseball as well. Baseball over the last week or so, leading up to All Star break, guys just seem like they want to take a break. You know what I mean? Like last night, Devers, Lindor, these big time bats in amazing spots just go out and dud. But I've always said that's what happens in baseball. You know what I mean? So it's time to bounce back. One of our picks missed yesterday. Which one was it? I can't remember which pick it was that missed. Was it the hitter? Was it? Oh, it was Lindor. It was Lindor. Lindor ended up going out and dudding for us. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's part of the game, baby. Let's come in and let's sweep today. All right. I'm tired of those one picks missing for us, man. Especially in good spots like that. Come on, man. All right. Let's get it. First and foremost, I'm going to go over on a pitcher fantasy score because I really love Freddie Peralta today at home in Milwaukee going against Chicago. Chicago strikes out a good bit. Prop line set at 34.5. The data has him over 38, a 3.83 differential. I really like this spot for Peralta at home today, man. He's got some good stuff. He's got some good strikeout stuff. He should be able to pitch fairly deep here at home in Milwaukee as long as he limits somewhat of the damage that could happen from Chicago, which, like I said, Chicago's not a very scary offense. So I definitely like this spot for Freddie Peralta to get over his pitcher fantasy score at home in Milwaukee. Now, when it comes to the second pick, There's a ton of different options on this slate, man. There is a ton of different options on this slate. I've been looking through them. Not 100% sure how I want to attack it, but something tells me, well, not just something. I feel like the Yankees being a bit of a letdown last night, I think they bounce back at home here against Kyle Bradish today. I really do. So you can either take the under on Bradish's pitcher fantasy score, which is set at 30. As you can see, the data has him getting blown up today. You know what I mean? The data has him getting absolutely wrecked today. They think the data suggests that New York at home should be able to bounce back here, which something tells me the same. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do pitcher fantasy score. I'm going to go under on Kyle Bradish's pitcher strikeouts. I'm going to go under the 5.5. Vegas likes the under at minus 140. Data has him projected at 5.16, a minus 0.34. I know it's a yellow, but I just really feel solid about the under on his pitcher strikeouts today. But you could go either way. Yes, this is a yellow bet, so if you want the full green, you can go Kyle Bradish's under pitcher fantasy score. I'm going to go under on the strikeouts because not only does the data have the under in this spot, but Vegas also heavily has the under in this spot, and I also expect New York to bounce back in this matchup. So I'm expecting Bradish to, have a fairly rough go of it here. So we'll see what happens though. But under on Kyle Bradish strikeouts, if you want to avoid it because it's a yellow, which I completely understand, that's fine. You can go Kyle Bradish and go under the 30.5 pitcher fantasy score if you would want to. Go under his fantasy score. You can go either one of those, but my favorite's going to be Kyle Bradish on his pitcher strikeouts because he needs 6. I'm thinking he gets blown up today. Obviously, he could go out and have a solid game. Sure, this is sports betting, but I think he's going to go out and get blown up today. Vegas likes the under, so does the data. So solid spot for that under there. All right. First inning runs tool. The over for Pirates and Dodgers. Urias and Oviedo have struggled in the first inning. Vegas likes the over. It's an 8.5 over-under total. 9.96 combined ERA from these two. 1.94 combined whip, which is the big number to look at here. These guys are not really missing bats in the first inning. Both offenses have been solid in the first inning. Both are hitting the ball hard. So not only are both of the offenses hitting the ball hard and not really missing the ball, but the pitchers aren't missing bats in the first inning either. All right? So I like the over on the Pirates and Dodgers, and then I like the under on the Cubs and the Brewers. Stroman's been fantastic in the first inning at 2.81. Freddie Peralta has been solid. He's a yellow, but he's been okay. Vegas likes the under at minus 135. It's an 8 over-under total game, but these guys have a combined 3.66 ERA, a 0.97 combined whip. That is fantastic. They're missing bats in the first inning to start the games out. Both offenses haven't been the greatest in the first inning, only hitting a 688 OPS, which is not very good. So under on Cubs and Brewers, and then over on Pirates and Dodgers. All right, we don't have Csgo. We will have Csgo tomorrow. Wnba, we do have, and then we don't have any soccer at the moment. So looking at Wnba, we have Ivana Dojic. Data tends to love this girl. Has her projected at a 10.35. Her prop line's only a 7.5, so a 2.85 differential for Ivana Dojic. Gonna go over her points at 7.5. Really like that spot for her. Yeah, I'm gonna continue on this in the same game on the other side. I'm gonna go over on Dewana Bonner. Over points and rebounds of 24. Projection of 26. That's a 2 differential. So I like the over on Dewana, over on Ivana. And they rhyme. So Ivana and Dewana are the ones we're rocking with. Over on Dewana's points and rebounds at 24, and over on Ivana's 7.5 points. All right. More will probably pop in, so make sure you stay up to date with that WNBA tool as time goes on, Prospect Easy members. All right. In the soccer, we don't have anything. So let's recap. We have Freddie Peralta as the best pitcher fantasy overvalue of the slate. I do think Freddie Peralta goes out and mows down Chicago at home in Milwaukee. I really like this spot for Peralta. Majority of the data is suggesting that he does have a good game, so you can know that placing that over bet on that 34.5 is great value on the slate. Matter of fact, on the entire MLB slate, the data suggests that Freddie Peralta is the best differential value bet that you can make on his over 34.5. So that's makes you feel good about it. So over on Freddie Peralta, and then the second pick was an under. We're going under on Kyle Bradish's pitcher strikeouts. Not only does the Vegas have it at a minus 140, which this will probably bump down to a 5, so get it before it drops down. but 5.16 projection with the data. So not only does Vegas like the under, but data also backs that. It's a minus 0.34, so yes, it is yellow. And I completely understand if anybody wants to say, you know what, the data has it as an under, yes, but the data still suggests it's a yellow and that it's a possible that it gets wrong. So you can go under on Kyle Bradish pitcher fantasy score if you would like to. Like I said, you can go either one. My whole point with going either of those bets is that I think New York bounces back today at home and the starting pitcher struggles, and that happens to be Kyle Bradish today. You can go under on his pitcher fantasy score, which is obviously a much higher differential. So I completely get it. And, like, as I'm sitting here, it's tough for me to take this, this instead of this. Um, yeah, I need to make my final decision on this one. This is tough. Uh, yeah, I mean, dude, I tell y'all all the time. You know what I mean? Like, do what you want to do what makes you feel comfortable, but at the same time too, I always tell y'all, look, my gut could be right here with the Yankees having a big game, and I expect them to have a big game. But I could see a scenario. With this being a yellow, I'm not going to lie, I can see a scenario where Bradish is able to get that 6 Ks, but still gets blown up. I could see that potential. And then that 30.5 seems a little high if he's going to get blown up. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. You know what? I always tell y'all, when in doubt, trust in the tool. So my second pick for today is going to be the under on Kyle Bradish's pitcher fantasy score. At the end of the day, if you're uneasy with the bet and you're not 100% sure, you're a little iffy on it, always take the spot where the data suggests the highest, and that is Kyle Bradish's under on his pitcher fantasy score. But either are fine, Kyle Bradish's pitcher strikeouts or Kyle Bradish's pitcher fantasy score, but I am going to side with the pitcher fantasy score, seeing that the data suggests a higher differential here. So under on Kyle Bradish's pitcher fantasy score, and then we have the over on Freddie Peralta's pitcher fantasy. So a couple pitcher fantasy scores. Normally I don't do that. A couple pitcher fantasy scores as the bets for today. All right? All right. Let's take a look at what we had for WNPA. We have over on Ivana's points at 7.5, and then over on Dewana's points in rebounds at 24. So points and rebounds over for Dewana, 7.5 points over for Ivana. And it rhymes, so it's definitely going to hit. No soccer. All right? Thank you guys for joining me as always. PropsMadeEasy.com. CSGO is back tomorrow. And as you guys know, CSGO is the secret hidden gem within Props Made Easy. Like, the tools have been absolutely dominant on CSGO. CSGO is back tomorrow, so make sure you join up PropsMadeEasy.com today. That way, when the lines drop for tomorrow's CSGO, you're able to get those in and have a good day, man. Thank you guys for joining me as always, and I'm out. Peace.